You are Locked On Golden Gophers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Minnesota on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Heartbreak at Wrigley today. Gophers missed the game-tying field goal as time expires. That would have sent us to overtime. 38-35, that's your final. Gophers dropped to 6-5 on the year. Thanks for stopping by. We got your full deep dive. All the instant reaction you can handle right here. Golden Gophers POSTCAST on the Locked On Sports Minnesota Network. Your team every day. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. Got the Gophers Hall of Famer, the legend, Ron Johnson. Give him a follow on X at 3Ron Johnson. You got to check him out every Tuesday, by the way, as well on the Ron Johnson Show. Lots to get into, Ron. Biggest turning point from today. What we'll be talking about tomorrow, plus maybe a quick little preview if we got time for the Axe next week versus Wisconsin back at home. But just off the top, Gophers sitting at 6-4, coming in off that rough loss to Oregon last week on the West Coast. What a day for Drake Lindsey. 4 touchdowns, his new career high. Coy Parrish was all over the field. The passing game, I thought Ron just did a really good job keeping the team in this one, despite the defense giving up 25 first downs, and it kind of felt like if you sat down and watched this thing from start to finish, chunk play after chunk play, time of possession, 40 minutes to 20, total domination for the Wildcats there. But it's kind of an achievement of its own. The Gophers even had a chance to tie this thing up at the end and send it into overtime. Alas, the 40-yard kick, that's no good. Gophers dropped to 6-5. I want the Ron Johnson knee-jerk reaction fresh after this shootout just ended in heartbreak. What do we learn about the team? Where do we go from here?
Oh, man.
He's dying.
This is what's wrong with college football, right? So you have a really good performance from Drake Lindsey, right? 20 for 30, 300 yards of total offense, 264 yards passing. Now, 59 yards with the Darius Taylor in the game. Wasn't able to rush the ball the way they want. 14 first downs to 25 first downs. 2 for 8 third down efficiency, which is horrible. 2 for 8 third down efficiency, horrible. But they still scored 35 points. Stop somebody. Like, that's one, right? So I'm not going to just blame because I'm about to go off on somebody else too. But 525 yards of total offense. Like, what? 525 yards against Northwestern, right? A team that should not be going to a bowl game and now is bowl eligible. 525 yards. But here's what really pisses me off, right? Football is football. Defense is not going to always do great. Offense might not always do great. It's a team sport. Special teams kicked in today with Coy Parrish. There were some moments the kicker missed a field goal. That he don't miss that field goal, it's tied up at that end, and now you get a chance to kick a field goal to win it. But the ref not calling pass interference on the tight end at the end of the game, I tweeted that video out. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you're standing right there with your hand on the flag, and then you're like, oh, we're in Wrigley. We're in Northwestern's home. I don't want to make this call. There were so many pass interference opportunities that the refs could have called, and they didn't. And I really don't understand why that's not reviewed. Like, something that egregious where he hits the guy way before the ball is there, and you can't just get a help from the booth and say, hey man, he hit him there. He played the ball. He didn't play the ball. He ran through the tight end. I don't care if you're playing the ball. You can't run through the tight end and knock him down to try to pick a ball off. Like, it's pass interference. And so what happens? You move the ball on that 15 yards, right? Or it's a spot foul, whichever one. I don't know, because I don't know I don't know what college football, like where he was in that moment, but it's either 15 yards or a spot foul. That puts it at least at the 20. If they go nowhere else, now you're talking about a 37-yard field goal versus a 40-something yard field goal, right? That's the difference in maybe the game going into overtime. That's the difference in maybe, though, like being from the 20 now, you can take your shot because the clock stopped. So you can take your shot with multiple opportunities. And oh my God, the 1 second throw, now thank God it was 3 seconds. That almost ended up, like if he catches that, but he doesn't go out, it ends on a catch. Because that would have probably ended the game. The catch, and if he gets tackled in bounds, it's over. Now, he was pressed to the sideline, so maybe he catches and steps out, and now you decide, do we kick a close field goal or we try to win the game on the road? Because analytics would say just go win the game right now if you're on your 2-yard line. But Drake Lindsey had been dicing them up all game. We've said this from week 1. I don't know why Drake Lindsey doesn't have a NASCAR offense. Like, I don't know why it's not just full speed all the time. But again, at the end of the day, you got to be able to tackle the running back. Like, I can't blame it all on the refs. Like, I'm definitely pissed off at the refs, and it's part of, like, that's part of the problem with college football is, like, you got players out here betting on their own games because they know the refs are going to help them out and screw it up too. Like, you're not making it easy. But again, it's not, I don't want fans out here, oh, he's just blaming on the refs, and that's what Ron does. He blames everything on the refs. No, I'm not blaming it all on the refs. The refs are definitely part of the problem, though. They're definitely part of the problem. But the 525 yards, that's like knee jerk. I'm like,
yeah,
that lost the game because like the Gophers offense was rolling. Like they started out down 10. They went on a 28-3 run.
Yeah.
They had the game in hand. 3 touchdowns from Javon Tracy. Like all the things, like my pregame show breakdown was literally Drake Lindsey. And everybody's like, why are you breaking down Drake Lindsey this week? And you got Darius Taylor. I'm not going to say I saw this game coming, but I'm not going to say I didn't see that he could do this if you give him a chance. And that's what my play breakdown was. It was, look at all the throws he's made. The simple throws, and then he has the home run ball. That literally what today was. It was simple throw, home run ball. But you got to find a way to stop somebody. You got to wrap up and tackle. There's way too much throwing shoulder. There's way too much trying to rip the ball out and not just making the tackle. And that's where I think the game was lost. Like the offense did everything they could do. It's a team game, yes. And there's probably games that are like, oh, the defense killed it, man. The offense couldn't score. If the offense plays like this against Wisconsin, NASCAR style, they should be fine. But if they lose the next, this was the problem now. You lose this game, you lose you end the season on 2 losses if you lose to Wisconsin. 3, because you lost to Oregon.
3. Yeah.
You end the season on a 3. Well, not end because you still get a bowl game.
Right.
But a 6-16
regular
bowl
season
game.
Yeah.
Like it just can't feel great. So that's my knee jerk. It's just, it really pains me to see simple calls like that being blown by referees, and then people think we complain too much. Don't do it. Like, just throw the flag. You saw it. That doesn't change the game. That doesn't, like, I can see if it was in the end zone and I don't want to give them a from the 1 yard line. No, it was at the 20. Just give them that. Like it was pass interference.
Take out the refs, take out the human element to these games. Let's move to AI. Are we there yet? 2030, 2040? It's got to be coming, Ron. I'm with you though. It's very frustrating, especially in a game that essentially could have been a win, and obviously now it's turned into a loss. Let's get into the meat and potatoes with the biggest turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Ron, I feel like this one's going to get lost in the shuffle because it was so early, but let's go back to the first quarter. 10-0 already, Northwestern. Things aren't looking good. You're coming off that blowout versus Oregon. You're thinking, oh, no, here we go again. Coy Parrish takes a kickoff, 94 yards, gets him to the 5-yard line. That just jump-started the whole team. They score a touchdown. It's 10-7. To your point, they go on a 28-3 run, and it just felt like after that touchdown, that kickoff really, okay, buckle in. We're in it for a 4-quarter fight today. It felt like I know there was more pressing stuff near the end of this one in the second half, but at that time, that felt like a massive a turning point for me and my money. Thoughts on that and your biggest turning point today? When was it and why?
No, I kind of agree. I think that punt return or kickoff return was huge because I tweeted right before that. I said this offense is stagnant. The team is stagnant. Like I was like somebody or something. They need a spark. And then I retweeted like, "There's a spark from Coy Parrish." Like I was like, they need a spark because everybody was still sleepwalking. It felt like they, had baseball hangovers or something. I don't know what was going on, but it was real lethargic from the Gophers offense. And then Coy Parrish does that, and then the offensive coordinator's mindset is, okay, that's a big play. Now I need to strike, and that's where you see the pass after pass after pass, and Drake Lindsey kind of takes over. They got away from the run game, which was just fine with me. I mean, we definitely know Darius Taylor can give you 100 yards or 100 yards of total offense, but if you can get that type of production from Javon Tracy or Lemeki Brockington or Drew Bibber, like you have to continue to ride that. And the biggest turning point aside from that is, I will say, Javon Tracy's second touchdown, because then it felt like they kind of had something. Like the first one's like, okay, he scores. Yeah. That second one is like, oh wait, okay, like we can move the ball on them.
We got something here. Yeah.
And I think at that point you could see he kind of went Super Saiyan at that point. Like he was in the zone. Every throw you made to him, like he was gonna get it. There was a lot of throws though by Drake Lindsey too that you're like, he kind of like a pitcher, right? Because I'm gonna use a lot of Wrigley Field references. He was able to throw the fastball when he needed it. He threw the changeup when he needed it. He kind of floated the ball when he needed it. And then when he had to throw absolute gas and just throw it as hard as he could throw it, he got the ball down the field. And so you didn't see a lot. All his posts, I felt like just about all of them were right on. The crazy one that not a lot of people are going to realize is the fade route to Jalen Smith when he went inside and then he went straight. That's a touchdown if he runs it like he's supposed to run it. When you go inside release on a fade, you just stack the DB right away. He didn't stack the DB right away. He kind of ran up like a seam route, and then it faded over his shoulder so he couldn't get to it. But if he releases inside, which is fine, you're going to take the inside release, beat him quick inside. Every receiver knows from there, you now go right back outside. You stack him and get on top of him and now let the ball fade you. That's a touchdown too there. So there was like plays left on the field because you look at 48 plays to 70 plays. Man. Like that's even though they both, scored a lot of points, that's why Northwestern had so many yards. It was the 70 plays to the Gophers 48. But yeah, that was my other turning point was the second touchdown. That kind of gave like, okay, we can do this.
We got something here today for sure. Well said there. Good stuff as always. Don't go anywhere. What we loved, what we hated, plus what we'll be talking about tomorrow after this one. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, today's episode brought to us by FanDuel. NFL season. We're in crunch time, man. And FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with this can't-miss offer right now. New customers, you bet just $5. If your bet wins, you're getting $300 in bonus bets to use across the entire app. And why I love FanDuel, they got everything, man. Player props, same game parlay, jumping in live as the action unfolds. My personal favorite. You name it, they got it. So quick, so easy. Best way to add a little bit more juice, a little bit more enthusiasm to your Sundays, right? Are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app. Go visit FanDuel.com today to get started. That's FanDuel.com. You're getting $300 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. Let's just hand out some flowers here real quick with some players of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I know it's going to be easy after a loss, so I don't want to gloss over this too much here, Ron, because there was some great performances. Drake Lindsey, you kind of already touched on him, 4 touchdowns. That's an obvious winner. But who else? Anyone that did enough to earn some praise, some spotlight, some flowers, some love when we flip on the tape tomorrow morning?
Oh, yeah. Javon Tracy. I haven't said his name all day. All season, it felt like, except for maybe week 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. Javon Tracy, he transferred in. He was on the PJ Flex show he was around during the PJ Flex show this week. He was on our pregame show as well with an interview. We broke his plays down with Drake Lindsey during the pregame show as well in the film segment. And he's a guy that, I think came in thinking this was going to be a good season for him and a big season for him. And it hadn't been there, and you could tell he was getting a little bit frustrated. You could tell he was like, man, I know I'm better than this. And so to have a 3 touchdown game like that in Wrigley Field, in big moments when the team needed it, catch after catch, just securing the ball, the post across the middle, taking a huge hit and still holding on to the ball, all of that, I got to give it to Javon Tracy because we haven't given him any flowers all season.
Yeah, well said there. Let's get into what we'll be talking about tomorrow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I mean, I don't know about you. For me, here's mine. As disappointing and gut-wrenching of a loss as that is, how could you not feel good about what Drake Lindsey showed today from the pocket, man? Like you already said, slinging it all over the field. Just a great day at the office. For me, I feel like most importantly, some momentum, some confidence for the offense. Not just next week versus Wisconsin, obviously, for the X, but I'm thinking 2026 as well. So that was a huge priority. What does Drake Lindsey look like in the developmental process this year, and how much can he grow? And after a game like that, it's just very encouraging. But you tell us, what should the A topic be tomorrow morning, or what's something you're going to be thinking about or pondering from this one tomorrow?
Yeah, the fact that they found so much offensive production from a bevy of guys and not having to burn out Darius Taylor. I mean, we saw Fame Ijuboy come in a bunch. So I hope that just was like a plan to get Darius Taylor some rest. I hope there's not any lingering anything because, you didn't see a ton from him today. And so it always worries me when I see that, when you're like, man, where was the usage of Darius Taylor? And it wasn't there. But the other thing we're going to be talking about, I think, is 300 yards passing given up and 200 yards rushing given up. normally if you say, okay, they threw for 300 yards, you're like, all right, well, they did a good job stopping the run. Or if you say, man, do you know they ran for 220 yards? Then you're like, well, they only threw for 110 yards. No, they did it everywhere. They threw the ball. They ran the ball. Like both running backs had some big plays. Corey Parrish, I saw the chase down where he punched the ball out. Again, just a bad break. What's the chances of him chasing a guy down like that?
How pretty was that, by the way?
Not getting the ball. Yeah, I mean, it showed like his
patience to be like, okay, let me take this extra step here and set this up and then club that ball out of there.
Yeah, it showed his speed, his strength, his power, his perfect peanut punch. But Hayden Eligon, Griffin Wilde, Wilde was all over the field. Like he was having himself an absolute day. 11 catches, 111 yards and 1 touchdown. For the number of people out there, that's 1-1-1-1-1. Like, what's the chance of that? Almost 11.1 yards, but it was 10.1. If it was 11.1 yards per catch, that would have even been spookier.
That's like the Tim Tebow game, 316 game, where it's like 316 yards passing.
Yeah, so I might have to go play the lotto, play 11 as the Powerball.
There you go.
But 7 for 127 for Hayden. And that was it. 18 catches from 2 guys. The rest of the team did nothing. Like in those instances, again, hindsight's 2020. Mm-hmm. The only thing I would be kind of talking about too is like, at what point do you just bracket those two? Like
sure.
Bill Belichick. You remember
Sure.
Bill Belichick?
Yep.
That was his defensive scheme. Like,
Yep.
I'm going to take away your weapon.
Your
or
top
your two best weapons. Yeah, I'm going to take away your 2 weapons, and then you got to beat me with somebody. You got to beat me with somebody else. Beat me with Ron Johnson. Like, that's what he would say. He'd be like, man, I'm taking away Jamal Lewis and
That's
Todd
gutsy.
Heap.
That's a gutsy game plan.
You got to beat me with Ron Johnson. Like, that's how Bill Belichick would handle it. And so, again, when I looked at like number 13 trying to cover, Elijah or Wilde, like it was a bad matchup. Like it just didn't. And granted, some of those plays were the quarterback break and contain, but I just always wondered, like, at what point do you take those 2 out of the offense and then let the because and I don't want to say his name wrong, but Aha Marazi.
Nailed it. Yep.
He was having himself a game as well, but just not like a ton of stuff. He had like 2 big plays and that was it. So like, let him beat us. Like, let him go after it. Like it's just those 18 catches from 2 guys. That felt really like, man, we couldn't stop 2 guys.
That's like Ohio State, Carnell Tate and then, Jeremiah Smith. It felt like that anyways, as we sat down and watched it unfold. Maybe that's a good segue. We got time for one more. I was going to do what we love, what we hated, and talk about what we love. Coy Parrish kind of already touched on it, though. Led the team in tackles with 10, a tackle for loss, a pass deflection, that monster force fumble, 2 monster huge kick returns to really breathe some life back into this team when they needed it the most. One when they were down 10-0, and then one at the end of the game to get them to midfield to kind of set up that, obviously they missed it, but game tying field goal at the end. But just making a lot of plays from that safety position, kind of looking the part, I think, today of everything we kind of hope we get this season. But let's go to the chat. Here's one for you, Ron. What's the issue with the defense? More talent or more scheme? And you can go off today specifically or just kind of big picture.
I'll never talk about scheme right after a game, to be perfectly honest, because one thing you have to do is like rewatch parts of the game. Like, so if it's a big run, rewatch it. Like, where were guys aligned? Did somebody jump inside instead of going outside? Did somebody get washed down that was supposed to set the edge? Honestly, I think like the talent is there, like Anthony Smith, Devin Eastern, Karamo, Jackson Howard, Carter Mins, Coy Parrish, Kingsbury, Baranowski, Kerry Brown. Like, you can name some guys that have made huge plays for this team during the season. So you can't say it's talent, but in the moment of the game, the front 7 was getting manhandled in the run game. Like, from a passing standpoint, I saw a couple tweets say this, that they were holding. The offensive line was holding. The refs weren't calling it. And I did see a couple of those where it looked like they were being held. But
they called 3 early in the game, and then they just stopped calling.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And my guess is they're probably like, man, we could just call these all day. But, if a guy's not trying to, like, get away where it shows he's being held, the refs are not going to, like, you can be in the graphs and hold a guy. Because if he doesn't go anywhere and he stays within your framework, they're going to let that go. Like Dallas, we talked about it with Dallas Turner with the Vikings. He gets engaged, like the Eagles game, and doesn't try to, like, break away to show he's being held. So I'm going to go with the talent of the moment. Like, I think the scheme, it felt like everybody had a gap. But I just feel like there were guys getting washed down, and the running backs were doing a great job finding a hole, and then one tackle was missed, and now they're out the gate, and now they're being chased by DBs.
Good today. Definitely Drake Lindsey, his day from the pocket, showing some big boy glimpses, 4 touchdowns. That's a new career high. The bad, most definitely the defense just not making enough stops when they needed to. The ugly, obviously that missed field goal kick that would have, tied it, and then we would have gone to overtime, and who knows what happens from there. But 38-35, that's your final. Gophers dropped to 6-5 on the year. Huge shout out to all you guys, all the everydayers out there that always make us your first listen. All you guys coming in the chat with us from game to game. Make sure you like and subscribe. You got to go check out all of Ron's great work on X at 3 Ron Johnson, plus all the killer stuff he's always putting up over at the Ron Johnson Show each and every Tuesday. Wisconsin up next. That's for the Axe to end the regular season. That's a 2:30 kickoff next Saturday. Join us for that one. Should be another good one. Until then, Sky Umont.
I'm hoping I get to do the post game from the field with the fans rushing the field to get the Axe.
How sweet. How
like
sweet.
that's my hope. I don't know if it's gonna happen, Luke. I hope that's the game. I hope it's an absolute blowout. And not rush the fans, people, as if like they know they should win this game. Just the fact that you get the Axe. That's the fun part about it.
If there was ever going to be a year, I mean, Wisconsin, we didn't have enough time to preview, but 3-7, they play Fighting Illini, 21st ranked Fighting Illini tonight at 6:30. Yep. So check that game out if you want a little kind of scouting report, quick peek there. But 3-7 definitely feels like the year to kind of definitely take advantage of an off year, I guess, for Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's a wounded dog. If there's any time to take advantage of a wounded dog, a wounded animal, bear, whatever. I know certain dog lovers out there, so I use a different term, a wounded bear. This is the chance to fight a wounded bear.
Join us for that one. Should be another good one. Ron Johnson, Gophers Hall of Famer, at 3 Ron Johnson. Luke Inman on X at Luke_Spinman. We'll catch you next week. Sky Umont, go Gophers. Signing out.